name is Faustina Mani. I'm the Global Trade Engagement Director at Better Grains and the founder of a private marketplace called Mothers of Africa Mobile Soko. Today, I'm here to present the food prices analysis for Copperbelt Zambia. We're comparing the prices of 21st April 2025 versus those of 31st March 2025. So let's get started. The first prices we're going to be looking at will be the Zambia bean prices for the week ending 21st April 2025. The US dollar foreign exchange rate versus the Kwacha was 23.04 Zambia. So let's get started. So the price of sugar beans, the wholesale and the retail price increased by 1.67 Kwacha per kilogram. This was a 7% increase price change for the wholesale price and a 6% price change for the retail price. The Kablangeti beans, the wholesale and the retail price also increased by 3.33 for both prices. For the wholesale price, that was a 14% increase, and for the retail price, that was a 13% increase. The Kabarima beans, the wholesale price increased by 1.67 for the wholesale price, as well as 1.67 kwacha for the retail price. For the wholesale price, that was a 7% increase in the price and a 6% increase in the retail price. Again, as usual, we have provided this information again in a graphical format for those of you who like to see the information presented. Again, if you look at the price, we've indicated the wholesale price per kwacha, as well as the US price by as well as the wholesale price by US dollars per kilogram, as well as the retail price kwacha per kilogram, and the lower prices are the retail price for US dollar per kilogram. We've also marked the difference in the prices when we compare the prices of 21st April 2025 versus those of 31st March 2025. Okay. One thing we would like to note is that we would like to point out that there's a business opportunity for the soya beans whose wholesale price was US dollar 0.36, which comes to an equivalent of 49.02 Kenya shillings. This is actually double the price of soya beans in Kenya. Where there is currently a huge shortage. So for those Zambians who have access to the soybeans, the Kenya presents a very interesting market for you with a huge profit. We also looked at the green beans. There lies another business opportunity within the East Africa market. The green beans are a new entrant into the East Africa market, but there's still opportunity for making money there. The next prices we're going to look at is the chicken prices. The chicken prices for the 21st April 2025 in comparison to 31st March 2025 were as follows. All the chicken prices remained the same except for the price of eggs, which increased by 0.33 kwacha for the wholesale price. That's a 15% increase, and 0.17 kwacha, that is 7% for the retail price. Again, as usual, we have provided a graphical representation in the chart format for those of you who like to look at the prices. And here we've indicated the wholesale price in kwacha per kilogram, as well as the wholesale price in US dollars per kilogram. We've also given the retail price in kwacha per kilogram, as well as given the wholesale prices in US dollars per kilogram. We've marked the increase in the price changes for the wholesale price between 21st April 2025 against 31st March 2025, and we've done the same thing for the retail, as well as indicated the percentage differences. Next, we're going to be looking at the fish prices for the week ending 21st April 2025 against 31st March 2025. The fish prices remained the same except for the Namibian Thompson 30 kilogram price, which decreased by 8.42 kwacha per kilogram, which was an 18% drop in the wholesale price, and 9.09 kwacha per kilogram, which was also an 18% drop in the retail price. The Namibian Thompson 20 kilogram prices also decreased by 9.09 kwacha per kilogram, which was an 18% decrease. And the wholesale price also decreased, sorry, the retail price decreased by 9.22 kwacha per kilogram, which was also an 18% decrease. And again, as usual, we have provided the information in a graphical chart for those of you who like to compare the prices using graphs, because they give a much easier um, representation for those who want to look at it in the chart format. Again, we've also included the data table, which gives you the different values as well. Next, we will be looking at the price of the bread flour, which is the wheat flour. The wholesale price decreased by 0.74 kwacha per kilogram, and the retail price decreased by 0.75 kwacha per kilogram. And we can see for both the retail and the wholesale price, there was an 18% decrease when you compare that price to the price of 31st March 2025. Again, as usual, we've given you a pictorial representation of that data as well for those of you who like looking at the information in a chart format. Next, we are going to be looking at the fruit prices for the for 21st April 2025 in comparison to 31st March 2025. The Zambia orange, both the wholesale and the retail price remained the same. Sorry, the apologies. The Zimbabwe oranges, both the wholesale and the retail price remained the same. The Zambia oranges, both the wholesale and the retail price dropped by 1.3 kwacha per kilogram. The South African oranges, the wholesale and the retail price remained the same. The pineapple wholesale and retail price remained the same. The local lemons, the 50 kilogram bag, the wholesale and the retail price remained the same. Other imported lemons, wholesale and retail price dropped by 2 kwacha per kilogram. The African non-fruit, the wholesale and the retail price remained the same. And again, as usual, for those of you who like to see the information, in a chart format, we have provided one for you because they're very easy to read. And as again, you can see the price, the drop in price has been indicated there. The data again has been captured in the table format. The next prices we're going to be looking at is the Zimbabwe livestock prices for, again, we're comparing 21st April 2025 versus 31st March 2025, and the price remained the same for all the livestock, meaning the sheep prices, the rabbit prices, the pig prices, and the goat prices. right? So again, we've given you a pictorial representation where we've mapped the retail price in both Kwacha and US dollars per kilogram, the wholesale price in Kwacha and US dollars per kilogram. And again, you can see the retail prices tend to be very much higher than the wholesale prices. And it's because these are usually because they're selling them in smaller quantities, or uh, should we say when like more of an individual, let's say sheep, versus when someone is buying a whole pack of them. Next, we're going to be looking at the maize prices. Again, for this, we're reporting the Copperbelt Zambia market, and we're looking at the different prices for white popcorn, South Africa mealie meal, the popcorn, both the local and the lasa lasa, the orange popcorn, the maize flour, and the fresh maize heap. The maize prices as of 21st April 2025 in comparison to 31st March 2025 were as follows. The price of white popcorn did not change for both their wholesale and their retail price. The South Africa mealie meal wholesale price dropped by 2.93 kwacha per kilogram, which is an 18% decrease, while the retail price dropped by 3.3 kwacha per kilogram, which was an 18% decrease. The price drop was due to a strong kwacha against the US dollars, because the prices are reported in US dollars. The local popcorn wholesale and the retail price remained the same. The La Salasa white popcorn wholesale price dropped by 3.3 kwacha per kilogram, which is a price drop of minus 28%, while the retail price dropped by 3.3 kwacha per kilogram, which is a price drop of minus 25%. The price drop is one a trader should look out for, because when compared to the profit margin, this could easily lead to losses, especially since the percentage where the percentages are higher for both the retail and the wholesale price. Again, such huge drops are not to be ignored, because they do eat into the traders' profit margin. The orange popcorn wholesale price dropped by 1.67 kwacha per kilogram, which was a drop of 20%, while the retail price dropped by 1.67 kwacha per kilogram, which was a price drop of 17%. The maize flour price dropped by 3.64 kwacha per kilogram, which was an 18% drop, while the retail price dropped by 3.74 kwacha per kilogram, which was an 18% price drop. The price of fresh maize remained unchanged. And again, we have this information in a graph format, so that you can be able to just take advantage for it, or it's easier for you to be able to get a pictorial representation of the different drops. Again, as you can see, there are drop numbers that are below the margin, especially when you consider the bars that are below the graph, are below the 0 point. Next, we're going to be reporting on the meat prices for when comparing 21st April 2025 to 31st March 2025, and we're happy to report that there was no price difference in the price of the meat. This was both for the game meat and the beef. The next price we are reporting on are the nuts, the nuts, the ground nuts, or the different nuts that were in the market. Again, we're doing a price comparison of 21st April 2025 against 31st March 2025. The shelled white groundnuts wholesale price increased by 1.14 kwacha per kilogram. There was a 6% increase, while the retail price increased by 1.67 kwacha per kilogram, which was a 6% increase. The Shell Tanzania red groundnuts wholesale and retail price remained the same. The red groundnuts, the shelled red groundnuts wholesale price increased by 6.67 kwacha per kilogram, while the retail increased by 8.33 kwacha per kilogram. The Mbabara nuts or the monkey nuts, the wholesale and the retail price remained the same. The 50 kg and shelled fresh groundnuts, the wholesale and the retail price increased by 1 kwacha per kilogram, and that was reflected as 14% increase in the wholesale price and 13% increase in the retail price. The 25 kilograms of unshelled fresh groundnuts, the wholesale price increased by 0.80 kwacha per kilogram, which was an 11% increase, while the retail price increased by 2 kwacha per kilogram, which was a 25% increase. Again, as usual, we have captured this data for you in a chart, and we've included a table for you for ease of reference, so that you can be able to look at the prices and see how the various nuts are changing prices, as well as how accurately the data has been captured. The next product we're going to be looking at will be the cowpeas. Again, when we compare 21st April 2025 in comparison to 31st March 2025, the price remained unchanged for both the wholesale and the retail price. As usual, we've captured the information in a chart format, which has a table with the data represented. Next, we're going to be looking at the rice prices, and we're going to be comparing 21st April 2025 in comparison to 31st March 2025. The wholesale price for both the Nakonde rice dropped by 23.33 kwacha per kilogram. That was a drop of 7%, while the retail price dropped by 1.67 kwacha per kilogram, which was a minus 6% decline. The price for the Kapunta rice did not change at all. It remained the same for both the retail and the wholesale price. And again, we have captured the information for you in the chart format with both the price data, the change in price for both the wholesale and the retail, as well as the percentages captured, so that you can be able to get a better understanding or a more clearer picture of what is happening to the rice prices. Next, we're going to be looking at the prices of the roots and tubers. Again, we're comparing 21st April 2025 against 31st March 2025, and we're happy to report that the prices of the sweet potatoes, the dry cassava, and the Irish potatoes remained unchanged. And as usual, we have captured the same information in a chart format with a table that reflects the prices that is mapped out in the charts. Next, we are going to be looking at the Zambia spices, and we've actually grouped everything, the salt, the sugars as well, in this category. And again, when we're comparing the prices of 21st April 2025 in comparison to 31st March 2025, the wholesale price for sugar remained the same. However, the retail price dropped by 5.35 kwacha per kilogram, which is actually a huge dip of minus 18%. The 50 kg Namibian salt bag, the wholesale price remained the same. However, the retail price dropped by 0.91 kwacha per kilogram, which was a minus 18% decline. We give you the percentage to help you work out your profit margins accordingly. So it's very important that when you're looking at the data, you just don't fly over the percentages, but you look at them because they have an effect on your profit margin. The 50 kg bag of ginger, the wholesale price remained the same. However, the retail price increased by 6.0 kwacha per kilogram, which was an increase of 23%. Again, it is more profitable to sell the ginger at a retail price, which is normally the smaller size, which are normally less than 20 kilograms. The 50 kilogram whole garlic bag enjoyed an increased wholesale price of 10 kwacha per kilogram, which is an increase of 14%, and the retail price increased by 20 kwacha per kilogram, which was an increase of 25%. And again, these are very good margins, and then one can actually take advantage for it to even just increase their profitability overall. Chilimbusi, the red small round ones that are really hot, normally called the Nigerian pepper. The price for both the retail and the wholesale did not change at all. The price of Botswana salt, the 50 kilogram wholesale price dropped by 45.85 kwacha per kilogram. That was a minus 92%, while the retail dropped by minus 0.94, which was an 18% decrease. The huge price drop was because of the foreign currency exchange, which was due to a stronger kwacha against the US dollars. So the effect were felt on the 50 kg bags, which is indicative of new salt imports from Botswana. The retail price are reflective of the commodity that was already, or the old stock, or the old inventory that was already in the market, but was being sold at a smaller volume. That's why you did not see such a huge price difference. So that the wholesale, the bulk salt that is being imported is the one that actually reported a price drop of minus 92%. Again, as usual, we have given you a pictorial representation of in the chart format where we've reported the wholesale price per kwacha per kilogram, the wholesale price in US dollars per kilogram. We've also reported the retail price in both the kwacha per kilogram and US dollar per kilogram, and then also captured the price changes between 21st April 2025 against 31st March 2025. And again, the tables are there. You can see the huge drop. It makes it easier for you to be able to understand what is happening to the various products in this category. And again, just use that data to see how you will be better able to calculate and factor all these prices into your profit margin. Next, we will be looking at the prices for the Zambia vegetable prices. we're comparing the prices of 21st April against 31st March 2025. The 12 kg bag of white onion, the poncho retail increased by 1.67 kwacha per kilogram, which was a 9% increase. The price of tomato increased by 2 kwacha per kilogram for both the retail and the wholesale. There was a wholesale increase of 33% and a 25% increase in the retail prices. The 100 bag of Tanzania onion, the wholesale and the retail price remained the same. Pumpkin wholesale prices remained the same, but the retail price increased by 10 kwacha per pumpkin. The green pepper price dropped by 3 kwacha per kilogram for both the wholesale and the retail price. The wholesale price decreased by 43%, while the retail price decreased by 38%. The 75 kilogram bag of eggplant, the price dropped by 0.67 kwacha per kilogram for both the wholesale and the retail price. The wholesale price, the decline was minus 25%, while the retail price, the decline was 20%. The 75 bag of cucumber dropped by 1.33 kwacha per kilogram for both the wholesale and the retail price. That was at minus 13% decline in the wholesale price and an 11% decline in the retail price. And again, as always, we've captured this information in a graph format, and we've prepared a table with the respective values there for you to be able to adequately capture and see the data. Next, we are going to be reporting on the Zambia worm prices again, and we are happy to report that there was no price difference in comparing the prices for 21st April versus 31st March 2025. The prices remained the same, and as always, we have given you a graph to reflect this accordingly, where we have reported the wholesale prices in both Kwacha and US dollars per kilogram. We've also reported the retail price in both the Kwacha and US dollars per kilogram. We've also indicated the price changes, of which there was none, which is reflected by the zeros and the 0%.